Hey guys, and welcome back. Well, do you remember that New York City bishop, the flashy Brooklyn pastor who was robbed at gunpoint during a church service, and it was a live stream, and he got robbed? Well, yeah. His name is Bishop Lamor Whitehead, and they call him Bling for short because of his flashy clothes and jewelry and everything. Well, he's been arrested by federal agents on yesterday for allegedly scamming his members of his congregation, among other charges. Now, Whitehead, who preaches a prosperity gospel and drives a Rolls Royce and often wears pricey jewelry and Gucci suits, well, he was indicted on 2 counts of wire fraud, 1 count of extortion, and 1 count of making material false statements for lying to the FBI. Now, if convicted, he faces a maximum of 65 years in prison. Yeah. Now, the feds allege that Bishop Whitehead, 44, swindled one of his parishioners, congregants, church members, out of $90,000 of her retirement savings by promising to use the cash to buy her a home. But instead, he blew it all on luxury goods and clothing for himself. Yeah. Now, in another alleged scheme, he extorted a businessman for $5,000 and asked the man to lend him $500,000. Now, promising he would obtain favorable actions by the New York City government in exchange for the cash and interest in real estate transactions. That's what the indictment is saying. Now, his campaign of fraud and deceit stops now, the U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said in a statement after Whitehead's arrest. Now, if you are willing to attempt to obtain funds through false promises or threats, the FBI will ensure that you are made to face the consequences for your actions in our criminal justice system. Now, Whitehead has pleaded not guilty at his arraignment in Manhattan federal court and was released on a $500,000 bond. Now, the bishop, who lives in New Jersey, will also have his travel restricted to the tri-state area as part of his bond package. Now, outside of the court, Whitehead, wearing a white sweatshirt, cap, and camouflage pants, nothing flashy today, stood by his attorney, Don Floria, who said her client denied the charges. Now, we are vigorously going to defend these accusations. We feel that he is being targeted and he is being turned from a victim to a villain. Now, this all stems out of a civil lawsuit that is being handled in civil court. He will be vindicated. His lawyer is referring to a 2021 Brooklyn Supreme Court suit brought by one of his church members, Pauline Anderson, who is 56, who accuses Whitehead of swindling her out of her life savings. Now, Anderson says Whitehead convinced her to liquidate her life savings and pay him a $90,000 investment in November 2020 with the promise that he would buy and renovate a home for her. Instead, he used the funds for a down payment on a $4.4 million home for himself in Saddle River, New Jersey, the suit alleges. Now, Whitehead, it made headlines early this year when 3 suspects burst into his church after it was during a live stream service and robbed him at gunpoint of his jewelry, estimated to be worth up to, get this, $1 million. Now, 2 men, Jawan Anderson and Saquon Pollock, both 23, were charged in Brooklyn federal court for the robbery. Now, their trials are scheduled to begin early next year. Now, the flamboyant pastor has had ties to Mayor Eric Adams' since at least 2013, and also made headlines in May when he tried to negotiate the surrender of an accused subway shooter and claimed to have spoken with Hinzner while the suspect was on the loose. Now, Whitehead was convicted of identity theft charges brought by state prosecutors in 2006 for using the personal information of several people to buy cars and motorcycles. He was sentenced up to 30 years in prison, but was released for good behavior in 2013. Now, Whitehead, who faces a number of civil suits, launched an unsuccessful campaign for Brooklyn Borough President in 2021, and one of his former campaign workers now claims he stiffed him out of $56,000. Now, he called the campaign worker suit frivolous like he calls all the other ones. Well, Mr. Bling Bling, I don't know how this is going to work out. And I didn't know he was a felon. So, and he's got a track record. We'll see how this turns out. Everybody ain't lying on Bishop. Everybody ain't gonna be lying on you. Come on now, Bishop. Well, we'll be studying this case closely, and I'll let you know how the good Dr. Bishop turns out. What do y'all think? Y'all think they just putting these frivolous charges and claims against this good Reverend Dr. Bishop Whitehead? We'll see. Just press that comment button and we shall discuss. Thank you so very much for watching my video. I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always in party, be blessed, y'all.